Hi everybody. I really appreciate you coming with me to my yoga place. We're going to do yoga together today. It's going to be probably about 30-minute practice, and we're just going to be working on some of the strength building muscles that takes us through our day. So come to a seated position on your mat. Let's just take a quick minute to just dial in. I don't know when you're practicing with me, if it's the beginning of your day or the end of your day or the middle of your day, but whatever it takes to just be present, let's just focus on staying within this area. So close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Cross your legs comfortably and just take a minute and let's focus on our breath. Take a full inhale all the way down into the belly and then let it out through the mouth. Do that one more time. Inhale and let it out through the mouth. Go at your own pace, just settling into your own space. Remember, my words are just suggestions, so your practice is your own. Three more breaths. Try to make them as full as possible. Inhale and exhale are the same length. When you're ready, open your eyes, and we're going to begin in Child's Pose. Child's Pose can be knees together, knees apart, but toes are together, okay, not crossing. So I prefer my knees to be open because I like to get a nice long stretch to my lower back. Begin to lengthen through your fingertips, reaching towards the edge of the mat. If it's comfortable to draw your elbows off the mat and really reach, it will open up your back body. Pull your hips down towards your feet. Got this nice long traction along the spine. Pull the belly in. Feel it pull the spine together. And then relax the arms. When you're ready, we're going to head to the left with the arms. So my left arm's coming out and my right arm's coming out. My body's staying exactly the same. Rest the head gently on the ground and really start to lengthen the right side body. The right side body. This is where I tend to hold a lot of my own tension. So be gentle this first couple of minutes and just reach. Breathe through your belly. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, rest into the posture just a little bit further. Give me 3 more breaths. And on your next inhalation, come to the center, back to neutral, and lengthen again. Just 1 full breath. And on your next exhalation, right arm and then the left arm. Really lengthen. Oh, and this side's a lot tighter than the other one. But let the arm really reach far, the left arm, and allow your shoulder to to drop comfortably down. It's going to open your side body all the way down to your waist. And breathe. And after your last third exhale, inhale, bring yourself back to center, and then exhale one last time. We're going to go into a puppy pose. The puppy pose can be a little bit intense, so please go at your own pace. I set a blanket, a strap, and a block here as options for props, and sometimes a block under the head in puppy pose kind of relieves the severity of the posture. But you're still in your kneeling position, hands go slightly forward, and you come down to your head. Really lengthen. So basically my hips are over my knees in this pose. The idea is to pull the belly up and back. And if you want to take it just a little bit further, you can bring your chin down. You can do that. And breathe. Keep your belly engaged. Don't let it just hang. And breathe. We're opening up the back, the scapula, the back of the body, the rhomboids, the rear delts, the lats. One more inhale. And on your exhale, come forward. Just Sphinx. I love Sphinx because it looks pretty simple, but it can be a pretty engaging posture. So the idea is to open your hands, keep them flat. Elbows are by your side directly underneath your shoulders, and you're pulling your elbows towards your belly. Your legs are engaged. You can even bring your knees up off the mat. Toes are pressing in. We do this in Cobra as well. And you're lengthening the spine, gaze is along the floor. Breathe. One more inhale. Really pull the elbows. Really engage the spine. Push into the toes. And then relax. Arms out to a T. So we're going to do a cross arm type of stretch for the back body. So this arm is going to go, the left arm is going to go underneath the right, and the right is going to go over the left. Okay, so I've got this great little space here. And again, go to your own comfort level, but begin to lengthen the spine from the mid-back to the back of the head. Lengthen. Gaze should be down towards the earth. So hands are open, you're really engaging the arms, and you're opening that scapula, the back body. Breathe. If you can, press into the biceps, press those two together, and pull towards your body. It just opens it just a little bit, grabs the traps as well, kind of releases that. And if you're feeling dangerous, just drop your chin to your arms and rest the neck. 3 breaths in this posture. And when you're ready, unwind and go the other direction, right? So, back to your T. Right arm under left, left arm over right. Press the biceps together, triceps together, top of the arms, I should say. Hands are open. Engage the legs just like we were in Sphinx, but the knees up and the toes pressing into the mat. And really pull in towards the body with the arms. It just opens that. It releases the shoulder blades come forward, so it releases that whole back area of the body. And breathe. 3 breaths in this posture. Okay, so when you're ready, come on out of it. Back to T of neutral and relax for just a quick second. We're going to go into Salabhasana, which is locust pose. So the forehead comes down to the ground. The legs again are still engaged, lengthening. Hands are by the body, palms up or down, whichever more comfortable. And we're going to rise up on our inhale, lifting the arms and the legs at the same time. Hold the posture for 3 breaths. Should be no pinching in the lower back. If that's the case, drop the legs and just use the arms. Lengthen. Keep the gaze along the floor. When you've had your last exhale, come down and rest. We're going to do that one more time. When you're ready, on your inhale, rise. Hold for 3 breaths. And on your last exhale, come down and move back in to tabletop. We're going to do cat-cow, but you can be creative, okay? So I would always start at cow. So inhale, drop the chest through the top arm. So instead of dropping the belly, because really you want the belly to be engaged in this movement. You don't want to just relax it. So I always like to pull or drop my chest through my arms, creating that beautiful little back bucket in your back. And then on your exhale, press into your hands, then come into your cat. Really opening. We just opened up the shoulder blades, scapular area. This should feel really good. A couple more rounds on your own. If you want to get creative and you feel safe as far as your spine is concerned, you can do circles. One direction, or figure eights actually, it feels like, and then the other. It just feels good getting that spinal fluid moving around. And after your last cat, come to neutral. We're going to open up the hips. So come up onto a kneeling position. Draw the right foot out. Knee and ankle are in alignment. Your hip and your left hip and your back knee can be as flexible as your body allows. Okay, so we're going to do Ajna Asana, and we're just going to hang on to it for a minute. Okay, so I want you to press into the front foot, create a foundation. Make sure your knee is not tracking in, but moving out. Okay, and if it's more comfortable for you and you still feel a good stretch, keeping the hip and the knee in alignment, then go ahead and do that. Okay, but you can also tuck the back toes for stability if you need that. Okay, so we're going to bring our arms up over our head, clasp the fingers, steeple your pointer fingers together. Really try to press into the palms, creating this beautiful mudra. Lengthen along the back of the ears. Pull in the belly and sink. Three breaths in this posture. When you're ready, on your last exhale, push yourself up, inhale, lengthen, drop the hands, and other side, okay? So, again, this is Anjaneyasana. Inhale, arms up, steeple, wrap the thumbs, and move forward into that hip stretch. Try not to sway the back, keeping the belly engaged, support for the spine. And on your last, 3 breaths here at least, and on your last exhale, you can come on up. Come back to kneeling. Place your hands, and we're getting ready to go into down dog. So place your hands in a comfortable down dog position. If you're new to down dog, actually the pointer fingers a lot of times are going to be the ones that are in the center of your down dog. Just depends on where your arms are comfortable. Sometimes the middle finger. So just mess around with it. See which is the most comfortable. And push into your down dog. It's not about getting the heels to the ground. It's really about lengthening the spine and coming out of the arms. If you're anything like me, my Achilles and my calves are relatively tight. And so it takes about, 15, 20 minutes in class doing yoga to be able to create that length that I'm looking for. And being able to get that heel down a little bit further. Breathe. One more full breath, and then we're going to go into plank. And we're going to do Vashisthasana, a little bit of a modified version today. So inhale, lengthen, and exhale, come into plank. Create that stable posture, right? Hips are down, really lengthening, pressing into the ground, moving it away. Drop the knees if you need to do that. And when you're ready, we're going to do Vashisthasana, dropping the right knee and moving, pressing into the right hand and moving up. Drawing the left foot back in alignment with the right leg. And hold. Breathe. Really work on the length of the opening, the back, the scapulas coming together. One more inhale. And exhale, come down, come back into plank. Do the other side. So when you're ready, drop the left knee. And come in to Vashisthasana on the left side. Really work on bringing the shoulder blades together, keeping the belly engaged, pressing the right heel down, and breathe. On your inhale, lengthen, and on your exhale, come back down to plank. So we're going to do the next Vashisthasana a little bit different. So we're going to come onto the knife edge of our right foot, pressing into the right hand, drawing the left foot to the middle of the mat. Okay? For those of you who are having a really hard time in this, repeat what we did the first time with dropping the knee. In the meantime, we're going to press into the right hand, lifting and creating this arch. So the press of the left foot and then the press of the blade of the right foot are equal, and we're lengthening. Inhale, really push into those obliques, opening up that hip, and exhale. Come back, plank. Other side. Setting up. And press. Really pushing into that left hand, creating that nice engagement on the obliques. Really opening up the hips. Lots of pressure. And when you're ready, come back down. Plank, hang on to it for 3 breaths, drop the knees if you need to. Just a little fun time with the ab work. And we're going to go into Malasana, which is garland pose. So push back into down dog, and you can get into Malasana however you want to. I like to look at my hands, become buoyant, and jump. So we're going into Malasana. I love face, you guys. And it's so interesting. So when you're doing any kind of squats or any kind of strength training, it's the idea is to have the knee track over the toes, and having a good solid Malasana will help that a lot. So stay in Malasana, realize if you've got a block or a book, get a nice big heavy book, you can always set on the block, right? And still create this space. And play where your feet are too, because everybody's different and everybody is different. So you can easily do Malasana on a block, and it's just a little bit more comfortable for your hips, especially if you're an avid athlete. The idea of hanging out in Malasana is to make sure that the weight distribution is equal on your feet. So it's not too far back into your heels, and it's not too far forward into your toes. And you just kind of can hang for a minute. All right. The pressure of the hands helps to open up the hip, the knees a little bit more, creating a little bit more space. And if you're feeling the burning sensation like me, then I think it's about time to come out of it, don't you? Okay, so let's come all the way up. Keep the feet where they are and just hang for a minute. Put your hands on the floor. You put your hands on the block. Don't hyperextend or lock out your knees. Keep a nice, soft knee. But just breathe. And in this posture, the weight's going to be in the ball mount. Okay? So that you're getting the length in the hamstrings. All right. Spread the feet apart. Stay in your forward bend. Turn the toes slightly in, heels are out. Make sure that the entire foot is flush. The flush on the mat. Okay? And inhale, lengthen. Lengthen the spine, and exhale, come down. Breathe. Don't lock the knees out, keep them soft. Place the left hand under the face. We're going to do a rotation. So the right arm comes up. The press of the left creates a nice long length to the back. It's up to you if you'd like to turn and look at your top hand. You sure can. Breathe. And when you're ready, after your third exhale, come back down and switch sides. And come down. Lengthen. Okay, we're going to go into a skandasana, or a one-legged squat. We're moving to the left, okay? So straighten the feet out just a little bit. Bend the left knee. Toes are slightly coming out. Right heel is grounded and the toes come up. So this can be very intense. So also the flexibility of your Achilles tendon it's an important piece of all of this. So please feel free to use the floor. We're just trying to create some space in the hips, okay? And when you're ready, move to the other side. So toes are out on the right foot. Come down. As you can see, my Achilles just will not release into this posture. So it's most like, I don't know if it's my hip or I have some restriction somewhere, but that's okay. I just move to my place of comfort or discomfort. However, we're going to do one more round. So press, and if you are so inclined, you don't need to use your hands. You can try just doing skandasana, but no hands. And come back to neutral. Lengthen. Walk your hands to the front of the mat. We're going back into down dog. Ooh. Check out your the flexion in your back legs and your back body in general, and feel how much more space you have. We're going to go into pigeon from here, okay? So right leg raises, bend the knee, keep it on track, pull it in, and place the right knee behind the right wrist. Now, so in pigeon, I keep my feet flexed. As long as I've done yoga, I've always kept it flexed. I've had multiple knee surgeries, so I really just do it out of protection of my knee. So that works just fine. And if you're concerned about that, also your knee is outside of your hip line. I also want to suggest using a block. If you can't get all the way down into pigeon, you can put a block right underneath your hip, and it'll allow you to still get the length. If a block doesn't work, a blanket, a towel will work just fine as well. But if I've been training a lot, I have a really hard time getting into pigeon, so I use the blanket. I just put a blanket right underneath my hip, and it allows me to relax in this posture just a little bit more comfortably, okay? So let's start with your fingertips pressing into the floor of the mat. Lengthen it, create some kind of a back bend, and breathe. Remember, we're engaging the belly, so we're not allowing it just to flop open, like flap out, not open. That would be gross, but anyway. And when you're ready, lengthen, and then exhale. You can come down to your elbows. You can come down to a block. Put your head on a block. Works great. Or you can come all the way down, depending on just how flexible you are in this posture. And in pigeon, try to keep that back leg straight, your feet, your toes straight. You can look back and check it too, so that your pelvis is aligned, so you're not falling from one side or the other. There's equal distribution.
And after your third exhale, you can stay as long as you want, but after your third exhale, you can come back up.
The idea of pigeon is, and then we want to go back into down dog, is to release the hips. And sometimes it takes time to do that. So if 3 breaths aren't enough for you, then please, by all means, stay longer. And let's move into the left side. So straight, the leg raises straight back. Draw the knee through the line of the body. And place it down. Again, block. Blanket. And the blanket's great, I mean, because you can move it, you can make it different heights. Flexing the toes if you need to. Again, the knee is coming outside the body line. My back leg is long and straight. Tenting the fingers, press into the ground, create a bit of a back bend. Aligning the pelvis equally from left to right. And when you're ready, you can come down onto your elbows, onto a block, or all the way down. At least 3 breaths in this posture.
And when you're ready, you can inhale yourself back up.
And back into down dog. And come on down. Good. All right, we're going to move into bridge. Okay? So take a look at your hands. And you can jump into a seated position if you so want to, right? Or you can just go into a seated position, whichever. But if you want to jump, you can. So I always like to be buoyant and or not. Never mind. Okay. Going into bridge. Go ahead and lay it down. The rule of thumb is your hands along the side of your body, your fingers graze your heel. That kind of gives you an understanding of the distance. However, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. So really the ankle and the knees need to be in alignment. Also, if you need a little extra space in the hips, just bring your feet out just a little bit outside of the body line. Just a little bit more, and you'll get a little bit more flexion. Okay? When you're ready, inhale, press into the feet, lift the arch of the foot, and rise. So bring your back body off the mat and breathe. all areas of the foot, just rising, let the arch reach up. And what that does, it just engages the legs a little bit differently. And you have a choice here in bridge. You can stay exactly as you are here. You can interlace the hands underneath the body if your back body allows you to do that. And then press into the arms to give you just a little bit more lift. And breathe. And I would challenge you in bridge too is to try to not let the glutes do all the work. You really want to let the quads, hamstrings engagement, that area do the work. So here's what I like to do. I'm in a full bridge. I'm just going to take it down one notch. I'm going to drop my hips and I've released my glutes. My glutes aren't working anymore. None. Everything's coming from the outside of the leg, the feet, and the hamstrings. My glutes aren't engaged at all. So just try that. So you're up in bridge, you're pushing, pushing, pushing. Drop it just a little, and then your glutes just soften up. And when you're ready, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, come on down. And just bring your knees together. And rest for just a quick second. Okay, we're going to go back up into bridge, or we're going to do three back bends. So the next could be a regular bridge, or the next one could be wheel, depending on how you feel. It's important to understand if you want to try wheel, which is a full back bend, you need to be able to have your hand completely flat on the mat by your ear and your elbow and your wrist in alignment. If that is not happening, then you should not be going into wheel because it could be dangerous for you. I don't want you to impair yourself so you can't live your daily activities, okay? So those of you who want to go back into bridge, inhale and engage. Lengthen. Play around with that, dropping the hips down. It feels really good. And then you can interlace the hands and press. If you want to go into wheel, again, the palms are flush against your ears. Belly's engaged. We're not leaving it soft. And then you just push into the palms of your hands and rise. 3 breaths in any of these postures. Come on down and just put your knees together, knock your knees together, because we don't want to draw the knees into the chest yet because we're not ready. We're going to do one more back bend. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, come on down. Whew. And one more time. You ready to go up? All right. If you want to go all the way up, just go into wheel without going through a bridge. You sure can. Otherwise, go with the flow. And when you're ready, on your exhale, come on down. Really press into your heels. Don't take advantage of this traction you're getting on your spine, right? I'm tracking all the way down to my tailbone. Really over-exaggerate the tucking. And then release and let that natural arch just spring back into place. Yeah? Okay. When you're ready, we'll set back up again. Actually, I think we're running out of time. We'll have to do that next time. Anyway, let's lay back down again. And you can draw the knees to the left, or we need to do a spinal twist. And reach that right arm out, the gaze to follow the right fingertips. Now, if you need a little bit more traction in this twist, You can always put the left foot on the right. Just depends on how you feel about that. You can always take the right underneath the left, do a twist. That feels more comfortable for me. And breathe. And when you're ready, come back up to neutral. Put both feet down, adjust the back body, make sure it's square and flat and ready for the next side. So you can wrap the left foot over the right leg if you want just a little bit of extra space. The left arm comes out and you're really trying to move and open the waist and the back body. And this opens all the way up through the chest, the pectorals, the shoulder. And when you're ready, come back up. Draw the knees in. Give yourself a good squeeze. I like to roll all the way up. And when you're ready for this, when you feel that you're ready, then you want to come into Savasana. So Savasana, legs out, make them as wide as you can. Make sure there's no obstructions. I've got blankets in my way. Nothing's really touching my body, just me on the ground. Arms out, palms up or down, depending on how your shoulders feel. Make sure that the skin in your back is flush and not rumpled. So always just lift up and then lay back down again. Chin is drawn down to the chest. Eyes can be open or closed. And take 3 full breaths into the belly and out of the mouth. And I'm just gonna check the timer and see how we've done. Perfect. On your last exhale, let your breath come back to neutral and normal. And just let go. When your mind starts thinking about future memories, just bring it back, either through your breath or focusing on where your body is touching the ground, the connection of the earth and you. Feel your breath. Feel the connection of your body to the earth. Lengthen your breath. Reaffirm the connection of the earth to your body. When you're ready, you can begin to move the body. Keep the eyes closed. Let the sensation be just about your movement, the energy. Stretch your arms overhead, point your toes, roll to your right side, taking your time, respecting the body. And when you're ready, come up to a seated position with your eyes closed. Hands in namaste in front of your heart. Shakti, Shakti, Om Shakti, peace to all beings. Thank you for doing yoga with me. I still love you.